Now we will start renal autoregulation. What is autoregulation? It is the feedback mechanism intrinsic to kidney which normally keeps renal blood flow and glomerular filtration rate constant despite marked change of the systemic arterial pressure. তাহলে when there is increased systemic arterial pressure, there is the change of the GFR and renal blood flow, but due to renal autoregulation, there is in a certain range the renal blood flow and GFR not changes, it remains fixed. This is called the renal autoregulation. It acts systemic arterial pressure 80 to 180 millimeter Hg. Beyond this range, there is rise of the renal blood flow with the systemic arterial pressure, and there is stoppage of the urine formation. In case of systemic arterial pressure, this is 50 millimeter Hg. Renal autoregulation, you should remember that the renal autoregulation is present in denervated and isolated perfused kidney. Primary function of the renal autoregulation. Why renal autoregulation is required? It is very much important point you have to remember, that is the in primary function of renal autoregulation in most of the organ. Autoregulation is present in different organs in our body like brain, like heart, like kidney, but in case of the brain, heart and except kidney, in others organ, there is the main function of the autoregulation due to the supply, this sustained supply of the nutrition and the oxygen and removal of the waste product. But we know that the kidney has the huge blood supply, that is the 25% of the cardiac output, and the arterial and venous, there is the partial pressure of the oxygen is changed, negligible change, as there is the huge blood supply. That is these two factors are not so important. So what is the requirement of the autoregulation in case of kidney? The major function of the autoregulation in kidney is to maintain a relatively constant GFR and to allow precise control of the renal excretion of the water and the solute. Main function of the autoregulation in case of kidney for the excretion of the water and solute, not for these two factors. GFR is more efficiently autoregulated than renal blood flow. Importance of the GFR and in GFR autoregulation. Normally GFR, দেখো এখানে একটা ক্যালকুলেশন আছে, you can understand what is the requirement of the autoregulation. Normally GFR is 180 liter per day. Tubular reabsorption is 178.5 liter per day. So excretion of the urine per day is 1.5 liter. Suppose there is no autoregulation. If the systemic arterial pressure raises from 100 to 125, that is the 25% increase, GFR also increase 25%, that is 180 to 225 liter. If tubular reabsorption remain constant, if there is no change of the tubular reabsorption, that is the and 178.5, so urine will be excreted 46.5 liter, and plasma, we know that the plasma volume is 3 liter, so there will be quick volume depletion, and this is the point why the renal autoregulation is required. Renal autoregulation is essential prerequisite for homeostasis. This is the graph of the autoregulation. In case of the 80 to 180 millimeter Hg of the systemic arterial pressure, the GFR and the renal blood flow almost constant. Now there is three main mechanism of the autoregulation. One is the myogenic mechanism, second is the tubuloglomerular feedback mechanism, and third is the glomerulotubular balance. Number 1, myogenic mechanism. It is mainly concerned with the autoregulation of the renal blood flow. Increased systemic arterial pressure causes the stretching of the afferent arteriolar wall, and there is the opening of the stress sensitive calcium channel, and there is the entry of the calcium into the muscle cell, and there is muscle cell of the capillary, that is the arterial wall, and this causes the contraction of the smooth muscle, and there is increased resistance of the renal blood flow, and this blood flow then maintained. When there is increased blood flow, there is stretching of the wall, and this stretching reflexly causes the vasoconstriction, and the blood flow is maintained. Next, the important point, this tubuloglomerular feedback mechanism, very important point. The tubular event changes glomerular. Any change in the tubular fluid causes the change of the glomerular filtration. This is the tubuloglomerular feedback mechanism. This mechanism links changes of the NaCl concentration in macula densa with the control of the renal arteriolar resistance. It has the two components, afferent arteriolar feedback mechanism and efferent arteriolar feedback mechanism. Now we are coming afferent arteriolar feedback mechanism. Decreased GFR. When there is decreased GFR, this causes the decreased flow rate at the loop of Henle, and there is the decreased concentration of the sodium chloride at macula densa. Why it is occurs? There is two processes. The decreased GFR causes the decreased sodium chloride concentration, and next point, there is decreased flow rate at the loop of the Henle causes the increased time for reabsorption of the sodium chloride. যে অ্যামাউন্ট অফ দিস সোডিয়াম ক্লোরাইডটা ঢুকছে বাই ডিক্রিজ জিএফআর তার থেকেও আবার রিঅ্যাবজর্পশন হয়ে যাচ্ছে। সো দেয়ার ইজ দি ডিক্রিজ কনসেন্ট্রেশন অফ দি সোডিয়াম ক্লোরাইড ইন ম্যাকুলা ডেন্সা, অ্যান্ড দিস ইনিশিয়েট এ সিগন্যাল at the macula densa, and this decreases resistance to flow in the afferent arteriole, and there is the increased afferent arteriolar pressure, and there is the increased GFR. Now when there is the increased GFR, this increased GFR causes the increased fluid delivery to the thick ascending limb. There is the increased sodium chloride entry at the macula densa cell via the NKCC, that is sodium potassium 2 chloride channel, and at the apical membrane of the macula densa, and there is the increased sodium ATPase, sodium potassium ATPase activity, and this causes the increased production of the adenosine and ATP, and this adenosine acts on the A2 receptor, and ATP acts on the P2X receptor of the macula densa and also the Lasix surrounding acid cell, and this increased calcium, this adenosine, and this causes the increased release of the calcium, which acts on the afferent arteriole and causes the vasoconstriction. Calcium is the vasoconstricting effect, and this causes the calcium causes the contraction of the smooth muscle, which causes the vasoconstriction. Vasoconstriction of the afferent arteriole mediated by the TXA2, PG, RAS, and the cyclic AMP, thromboxane A2, and this. আমরা এবার পিকচারটা দেখি। This is the macula densa cell. This is the macula densa cell, and this causes macula densa cell. This is the apical part. This is the tubular space, and there is the active of the NKCC, sodium potassium 2 chloride, and there is the sodium potassium 2 chloride causes the entry of the sodium, and this increased sodium causes the activation of the sodium potassium ATPase. There is the increased ATP and adenosine production, and ATP acts on the P2X receptor, and adenosine acts on the A1 receptor of the Lasix cell and also the macula densa cell, and this causes increased calcium release. This increased calcium causes the acts on the afferent arteriole and causes the vasoconstriction. This is the tubuloglomerular feedback mechanism. Now we are coming to, this is the afferent arteriolar feedback mechanism. Now we are coming to efferent arteriolar feedback mechanism. There is the decreased GFR, it causes the decreased sodium chloride at the macula densa, আমরা দেখলাম, and this initiate a signal, and this signal causes the increased release of the ZG cell, and আমরা দেখলাম যে ডিক্রিজ জিএফআর এই সিগন্যালটা করছে ইনক্রিজ রিলিজ অফ দি renin, and this renin causes the acts on the angiotensin 1 to angiotensin gen to angiotensin 1. Angiotensin 1 then produce this angiotensin 2 by action of the ACE, angiotensin converting enzyme. Angiotensin 2 acts on efferent arteriole, and there is constriction of the efferent arteriole, and constriction of efferent arteriole causes the increased PGC, and there is the increased GFR. So decreased GFR, this change to increased GFR. Angiotensin 2, why you can say that why it only acts the efferent arteriole, not afferent arteriole. It acts both afferent arteriole and also efferent arteriole, but the action of the angiotensin 2 on the efferent arteriole is more. Why? In case of the afferent arteriole, there is the liberation of the some vasodilators like NO and like bradykinin, and this causes the vasodilatory effect, and these eliminate the action of the angiotensin 2. But in case of the efferent arteriole, number one, there is the more receptor for the angiotensin 2, and there is the vasodilatory effect is less applied. When PCT reabsorption hampered, when proximal coronary tubule absorption is hampered, there is the less absorption of the in the proximal coronary tubule. কিসে ক্ষেত্রে কোন ক্ষেত্রে হয়? There is the in heavy metal poisoning like mercury poisoning, in case of drugs like tetracycline, in case of the acute tubular necrosis, and this causes the increased sodium chloride at the thick ascending lip, that is the macula densa, and this causes the decreased GFR. Glomerulotubular balance, that is the glomerular event. আগের ক্ষেত্রে কি হলো যে টিবুলার ইভেন্ট চেঞ্জেস গ্লোমেরুলার ফিল্ট্রেশন, এখানে গ্লোমেরুলার ইভেন্ট changes the tubular event. The glomerular GFR change in the GFR causes the change in the tubular event. Increased GFR, that is the increased filtration of the sodium and water, and this causes two effects. Number one, this increased filtration of the sodium and water. This causes increased chloride-osmotic tension in the efferent arteriole, that is the water and sodium absorption হয়ে যাচ্ছে, তাহলে তোমার প্রোটিনগুলো বেশি পড়ে থাকছে, তার জন্য chloride-osmotic tension the efferent arteriole increases, and chloride-osmotic tension of the peritubular capillary also increases, and this is causes reabsorption, that is peritubular capillaries chloride-osmotic tension increases. This causes dragging of the fluid, there is increased reabsorption of the water from the PCT, and this water dragging causes the increased sodium reabsorption from the PCT by solvent drag. যখন water dragging হয়ে যাচ্ছে তখন by solvent drag sodium drag হয়ে যাচ্ছে, and this causes the sodium water balance. Another process, there is the increased load of the glucose and amino acid at the PCT. Increased GFR causes the increased load of the amino acid and glucose reabsorption, and this glucose and amino acid reabsorption occur কোথায় হচ্ছে? From PCT, and this is helped by the sodium and amino acid reabsorption caused by this glucose reabsorption caused by the SGLT, that is sodium glucose transporter, and sodium amino acid symport, and both acts for absorption of the glucose and amino acid respectively, and there is the glucose and amino acid absorbs and along with sodium absorbed, and there is more water reabsorption osmotically, and this causes the sodium and water balance.